Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 172. We are recapping the 450s of this round 6 race in Minneapolis. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Yo, what's going on?
Dude, so much exciting stuff happened this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And I hate to be a little spoiler, but we can say Red Plate rocks it again. I'm so
Dude,
happy.
You asked for it last episode. We talked about the 450 or when we were looking into this race. You said you wanted Ken Roczen to wear that red plate so we can call him Red Plate Roczen again. I made some calls and boom, made it happen. I told you I was going to make a call. I got it for you.
That's right, Red Plate Roczen, and it was just an awesome night of racing. Even though the track was super one-lined and there was really only like 2 passing spots, There was just so much that happened.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into all of that.
Yeah, it was also a really fast track and a very empty stadium, I want to say.
Indeed it was. So let's go ahead and just look at these qualifying practice lap times real quick, because this just blew me away at first. Joey Savacci had the fastest qualifying time out of everybody, with Eli Tomac right behind him.
Yeah.
They were 46.7 and 46.8.
Yeah.
But everybody was literally so close.
The funny thing about that is that Eli actually had it for a little bit, and then here comes Joey in a heater and took it from him. And the other pretty fun fact about this, I don't know if you look at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah.
What do they have in common? Also, same bike. So Cowie, KTM, KTM, Honda.
Ah, there's a pattern there.
Yep. And then Yamaha, of course.
Yeah, well, this was definitely a track for those factory bikes just because how wide open it was. It was just who can go the fastest.
It really was. It was just like, yeah, who can just go the fastest around it? That's it. It was like a one-on-one thing, you know, like how they do it that overseas. They do the one-on-one.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. Savacci, like we said, started off the day good.
Yep.
Cooper Webb was there in 4th fastest time, but as we said, everybody's lap times were so close. 46.7, 46.8, 46.8, 46.9, 46.9, 47.1. Like, they were all within 1 second of each other all the way until 12th place.
Yeah.
So, the top 10, they were all just running so close, which was awesome. So it was definitely all about this start. So looking at the starts of this 450 Heat 1, we can say Red Plate rocks it again, right? We've already established that.
Yeah, I guess you spoiled it, and just for the sake of the good saying, you know.
Yeah, it's just going to slip out anyways. So anyways.
Yeah, I think so. So again, dude, this is our podcast. You do whatever you want, you know?
All right. So Ken Roczen got the whole shot. Actually, he looked like he was going to have the whole shot, but Cooper Webb, he was hugging that inside all day, and he was able to like get the credit for the whole shot and actually came out in front.
Last second, too.
Yeah, and he was followed by Tomac, Roczen was up there, Freeze, Plessinger, Chisholm, Reed, Wilson, like all these guys are up there. And we did see some passing happening. Plessinger, he made the pass on Freeze for 4th place. And then we saw Reed was also behind him and both passed him right there in the same corner. We saw that strategy happen a lot where multiple passes will just happen in the same corner.
Dude, there was a couple little battles happening within the riders.
Yeah. And then Wilson, he also passed both of them. So Wilson was able to move up. And that's pretty much all the passing and all the craziness that happened. As we said, the start was so important in this race just because they ran in the same positions pretty much the entire race, no matter what race it was, actually. One thing I thought was notable was on the podium, Cooper Webb was saying how he knew Eli Tomac was faster than him in the whoops and stuff. And yeah, I was going to say Cooper Webb, he's the man to beat, but I feel like Tomac is the only person that can beat Webb right now. Like if they're right next to each other. That's why this race was pretty cool because Cooper Webb won it. Tomac right behind him in 2nd, as we said. Ken Roczen 3rd. Aaron Plessinger able to pass his way up to 4th. Dean Wilson 5th. Chad Reed, Vince Freezy, Kyle Chisholm 8th, and Ben LeMay getting that final transfer spot going to the main.
All right, heat number 2, though. We have Bogle stealing the whole shot from Mooskin.
It's like old Bogle's coming back with these hole shots.
Yeah, I'm ready to see some swag happening. So a lot of stealing of last second hole shots in this race, which is kind of entertaining. I like that a lot. So why not? Brayton comes out of nowhere and takes second place and starts battling with Bogle for first place, like right away. I said Brayton was going to do good, and he did. He did a hell of a job. I feel like this track was good for him, like his style of riding. I think it was really good.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed Brayton, compared to the 250 guys, he was like super respectful because he really could have cleaned out Bogle in that same turn before the finish line.
Yeah, but Bogle
he was pretty cool about it.
Bogle was out there putting that leg out. I don't know if you noticed that. Pretty much taking all the passing space, like literally with them long legs.
That's what this track was about. It was just like, who can ride the widest bike ever?
Yeah, it was him. It was him. He did it with Brayton a couple of times, like you said.
Yeah, there's another rider who takes that award, and we'll get into that in the main. But I just thought it was funny. Brayton looked insane. Bogle looked really good.
Yeah, a lot of Bogle in this heat. He missed a gear and hit neutral and gives up the spot to Brayton. So after all that battling, I was like, what the hell? And
exactly, that's classic Bogle right there.
Yeah, Muskin also made the pass on him, but he got right there on Brayton, and he wasn't going to let him go. Do you see Barsha slamming into Baggett? When Baggett hit neutral? What's going on with that team, bro? They definitely set up their bikes weird this weekend because Bogle and Baggett did that.
Yeah, we definitely saw some. And Muskin had his problems with neutral too. So it's just KTMs, all of them.
It was really weird. He made a mistake in the rhythm section. He lost a couple of positions and it put him back in fifth.
Yeah, he cross-rutted in that rhythm section and almost died. We saw several riders do that, and he was able to save it somehow, but that was like a scary section. That happened to so many people.
Yeah, it took a couple of names, but Brayton ended up getting the win. He does his second heat of the year, and that's amazing. That's really good for him. He looks really good. He was followed by Barsha and then Savacci. Fourth place was for Bogle. Baggett sat in fifth place. Cole Silly sixth. Tyler Bauer seventh. Marvin Muskin eighth. Alex Ray got ninth, and Etignap got 10th. So...
And Ticknap looked really good in practice, so it sucks that he wasn't able to put it together in this heat race. He was on my fantasy team, and he just...
Well, it sucks for you. You just suck at fantasy, so...
I know.
The 7 Dudes got 10th. Casey Brennan got 11th. Tyler Etignap got 12th. AJ Catanzaro got 13th. Harmon got 14th. He had a really good LCQ race. We'll get there in a minute. Nagy got 15th. Bubba Pauly got 16th. Tevin Tapia got 17th. Chaz Brayton got 18th. And then Van Martin got 19th. Or DNF, I should say.
Yeah, Van Martin was the first victim of that rhythm section in practice, where he also did the same thing Muscan did, but he actually got super jacked up. So he posted that he hasn't been to the doctor yet, but he thinks he might be able to ride or something, so he's going to get it checked out. But yeah, it's just crazy. That rhythm section was gnarly. So that takes us into this last chance qualifier, and just to kind of breeze through this, like kind of one big event that I want to talk about. We just talked about Enticknap, and we saw Herling get the whole shot in this, but Harmon jumped out front. And if you remember San Diego, Harmon, he was in that transfer position where he just fell on his own in the mud and gave it up. So it looks like he was back with some fire this week to make it in. And once he moved out front, he pretty much just checked out. But the battle behind him was Enticknap, Gardner, and John Cross right there. All three of them got Enticknap stuffed Gardner into Cross and took both of them out, and he was able to ride away, which blew my mind. He was able to ride away from that, but that was kind of like the biggest crash of this LCQ. Enticknap just cleaning two people out.
Yeah, 2 for 1, baby. It wasn't enough, though.
It wasn't enough. He had other mistakes and stuff, but...
Yeah, if he would have made it, it would have been kind of funny because, well, obviously, Adam Enticknap hasn't made one yet, and... Jim Hawley and Daniel Blair said that Tyler Etignap will make it before Adam. So I think that's kind of funny. Yeah,
it's actually starting to look like that might happen.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. It's kind of scary for if you're the 7 News Deuce or the 7 dudes don't. Oh!
Hey! So,
all right, let's jump into this main.
Yeah. Well, so Harmon made it through. Catanzaro got second. Casey Brennan got third. And Daniel Herlin, who got the whole shot, was able to salvage fourth after he was like fading. So those guys are going to the main. And let's jump into this main because it was a good one.
Yeah,
lots
it was a great
of crazy action. And let's just start with this whole shot.
Yeah, who Webb stalled again at the last second, followed by Roxon, Baggett, Savacci.
Yeah, Savacci had a super good start. He was right up there next to Cooper Webb. Cooper Webb, he got credit for the whole shot, but Savacci really was the one who jumped out front super quick, and he just started holding off everybody, and he's the one who I mentioned earlier who has the wide bike. It was so hard for anybody to get past Savacci. He was holding everybody. It was like a train behind him. It was just like everybody would just catch him, and then another person would catch, and then another person. They were all running so close.
That was the problem with the one-line track, that happened. So
he made some really key moments holding off Cooper Webb in like those first like half a lap, because Cooper Webb, he was going for it so hardcore, and Savacci was able to keep him behind him, and that really served him well this race.
Meanwhile, Tomac and Muskin were sitting in 14th place.
Yeah, Tomac was way, way back there. I think it was even worse than that off the start. He had the worst start ever, so we knew it was going to be impossible for him to catch up and pass everyone through how this with this track layout.
Exactly, and it was a very close race, like you mentioned. There was no passes being made in the front of the pack. It was like 5 minutes in, and still like same thing.
Exactly, they were just putting in like it was like practice, and we're just like watching practice out there.
Yeah, exactly. From like 1 through 6th place, they're only like 3 seconds apart, and that's how you know it's what the hell.
Yeah, I did see Justin Barsha. He dropped a couple positions. He was running like 7th. He dropped back to 9th. They didn't show what happened or even talk about it or anything. And we saw Musquian start to work his way up a little bit. He passed Brayton for 5th place. And then Webb, he was able to finally get past Joey Savacci and open up a little lead because Savacci was holding up everyone else behind him.
Yeah, Savacci makes a little mistake and bubbles out, allowing the pass to Webb with 8 minutes to go. That's when you're like, oh, snap, here goes.
Yeah, Savacci ended up leading 14 laps in this race. So
that's crazy.
More than half of the race. They did 26 laps total. So Savacci led more than half the race. And it was just a good ride for him or to start off with, because we did see him start to fade and give up some passes and start to make some mistakes towards the end of this race.
Yeah. Somebody else that I said that was going to do good and who unfortunately had a really bad night, Blake Baggett, who started to close up on Roxon and Webb and started to get more and more in those guys and closing them up.
Yeah, so Savacci, like we said, he led the first 14 laps, and then he did start to fade, and he was just kind of holding everybody up. Roxon was able to get around him, and then we had like Baggett and Musquian. Savacci actually makes a mistake, and both of them get by, but right after that, Baggett, he has a pretty big crash.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. Like, he was looking real good. He was looking like back at Glendale where he won this year, and he went down really, really, really hard. He walked away right away. He endoed
in that rhythm section, just went straight over. He was able to like turn right before he hit the ground, so not a good crash for one of the contenders.
Yeah, he definitely had no rush to get back on the bike. Very unlucky for him. He obviously got the DNF. That was unfortunate for Baggett, but Cooper Webb with a fantastic win and make it the third one of the season, bro. And, Ricky Carmichael was saying how, he's in the Webb wagon.
I've been on that Webb wagon since whatever it was, week 3. But I'll say it again. I don't think anyone can beat Cooper Webb except Eli Tomac.
Well, he has not won a heat race yet, but he loves winning the mains.
The ones that count. Yeah, so great ride for him. He was super pumped. Shaping up to be an awesome season. Red Plate Roxon, 2nd place in this race. But, as we said, he gets that red plate back. Marvin Musquian, after his terrible heat race, was able to get everything together, gather 3rd place. Savacci, after leading more than half this race, gets 4th overall, just misses that podium. Justin Brayton 5th. Eli Tomac able to come all the way back up to 6th place, that's probably pretty impressive just because of how hard it is to pass people on this track.
Yeah,
so he passed 10 people.
Track. Yep.
Chad Reed in 7th. Dean Wilson, that wild card pick at 8th place. So congrats to
Yeah.
everyone who picked him, not
Yep.
you. You picked Seeley.
Yeah, just because of you.
Justin Barsha 9th, Aaron Plessinger 10th, Cole Seeley 11th, Vince Freezy 12th, Justin Bogle 13th, Tyler Bowers 14th, Kyle Chisholm 15th, Alex Ray 16th, Ben LeMay 17th, Daniel Harlane 18th, Cheyenne Harmon 19th, Casey Brennan 20, Blake Baggett 21st, AJ Catanzaro 22nd.
Yeah, AJ making the main.
But just looking at the points, Ken Roczen, this is where this race is awesome because it really evened this points out. It looked like Tomac was like he pulled the biggest lead of the year so far, but we got 125 points for Ken Roczen, 124 points for Cooper Webb, 123 points for Tomac and Muscan. So we got another tie. We got a tie for third. So those top 4 guys all within 2 points of each other.
There's your contenders right there. Those 4 right there.
That's it. Dean Wilson sitting in 5th, but 95 points. Justin Barsha 6th with 88 points. So, yeah, there's a big drop-off there in points between those guys. So those 4 just being 2 points within each other, I love it. I can't wait.
That's your like right here. Any one of those 4 dudes will win this championship. The East Coast looking good. I'm ready for Texas next weekend, and I'm ready to see what videos we're going to put up on our Instagram, bro. MXSX Podcast. Are you following? What's up? Come out. Peace.
That's right. Stay tuned. See you next episode with news. Peace.